Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Hello.
thanks for being here. Barry Giants. And I had
Yes,
the
sir.
pleasure I had the pleasure of meeting you guys at the Electric City Music Conference back in September. Great weekend in Scranton, PA, every year. And it was cool meeting you guys. So I'm glad we connected. I'm glad we hooked up and we're doing this tonight.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Thank
yeah,
you very
thank you
much. It
for
was a
having
pleasure
us.
meeting you too, man.
Yeah, so you guys are from Massachusetts,
Yes, Fall River, Massachusetts.
Fall River.
It's a
I can hear it a little bit in the accent. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I'm a huge
oh
Celtics
hell yeah.
fan. Yeah, I go
That's
to
awesome, man.
I go to Boston every year for St. Patty's Day with the guys.
That's the day. That's the day to be there, man.
It's like it is and it's not, right? It's like so we took a couple years off. We took off 2020 and 2021. And we were back this year. And I don't know if it's that I'm getting older or if, just people are like just out in full force now. It was also, I think, St. Patty's Day fell on the weekend. So I think a little bit of the combination of everything just made it like I remember going out of the hotel and going down the street and just seeing lines upon lines waiting for the bars to like get in the bars. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm
It's
not doing
definitely
this.
yeah. It's definitely
Yeah.
chaos. Even to go for like a sports game. Like I went to go see the Celtics in game one and against the Brooklyn Nets, and it was absolutely crazy over
Yeah.
there. Like yeah, all the bars you couldn't get in. It was nuts.
I actually got into an online altercation with one of my favorite bars, Sullivan's Tap.
Okay. You got into an altercation with them.
Yeah, so we it was funny. Like we take a bus, into town, and we're there once a year. It's that, and that's like it's not the greatest bar. It kind of smells like pee, to a
It sounds like
degree.
a bar around here.
Yeah.
I mean, we love it. Like it's one of our favorite bars. It has the hot shot basketball. It's a huge long bar. It spans like the width of a block basically. But we take a bus, so we had been drinking on the way to Boston from Scranton. So it's about, I mean, with the stops and things like that, it's probably a good 6 hours. But we weren't like out of control, and we got to the bar and we wanted to come in, and they're like, "There's no one in there, by the way." And we get to the door, and they're like, "You can only come in if you have a ticket stub to a Bruins game." And I'm like, "Shit!" Like I don't like we're from out of town. We didn't go to the game. Like we're here for like 1 weekend, 1 weekend only. Like this sucks. So there's two sides. There's two entrances to that bar. So we went around the block and then went in the back.
Yeah.
And so we got in that way. And the guy at the door on the other side saw us come in and he ran across the bar and said, "You guys gotta go." It was real bad. It was real bad. And
Yeah.
then like I made a comment. They posted on Facebook saying like, all are welcome. Come to Sullivan's Tap. I'm like, oh yeah, unless you don't have a fucking ticket. And so they kept going back and forth with me. I have the screenshots because I was fucking pissed.
That's kind of messed up though.
It is.
I know there was well the thing is there's nobody in the bar. Like I'm not even joking. Like I wouldn't exaggerate. Okay, maybe there's two people, but like it wasn't like crowded. It wasn't like they had to like moderate the crowd, so to speak. I don't know. It was very disappointing. I had the screenshots somewhere. I should have
You can only come in if you spend $200 on a Bruins ticket.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But
I just
I
saw
mean
the I
we
just saw the Cheers Boston sign you got back
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. What else? Anything else Boston from my travels to no. No. But yeah, one of my favorite cities. If it wasn't so goddamn cold, I'd probably try and move there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's
But
what was it, 30 degrees today?
Yeah, it was
Got
freezing
to a
today.
point.
It's getting cold.
Or that was this morning. I've been up since 5 a.m. So
it was cold here too. It was probably 34 here this
yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
So not far off. But yeah, it's one of my favorite cities. It was a bummer missing those last 2 years, but I've never been to a Celtics game yet at the TD Garden.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
Such fun.
yeah, I've seen them play the Sixers because I'm able to, get there easier. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, what a ride though! This last year, man, finals. I thought they had it, but
Yeah, I was devastated, man. I work at a barber shop and like sports is that's the conversation at the barber
sure,
shop, you know what I mean? and everyone's coming in, and like after like we lost that game 2 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's like, oh, they're looking terrible, and I'm like, no, you got to have more faith. That's it. We got it. We're the better team, and we just didn't have an answer, man. We just didn't have an answer to the 3-point shooters that were on Golden State and
Steph
turning the
Curry.
ball over.
Yeah, and Tatum didn't have great games.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, man, like it's crazy to watch. Like he just like throws the ball in the air and it goes in. I don't know how it happens.
Dude, he's like a bailout. He's like, if you're ever in a situation where like you feel like a bucket's impossible or the defense is so locked down, just give it to Curry and he's gonna just make the shot. Yes.
He's gonna throw it in the air and it's gonna go in. Are you a Red Sox fan too?
I'm not that big into baseball. I consider myself a Red Sox fan, but I do tune in during the playoffs typically.
Yeah, bummer for this year.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We had a lot of great years as recently.
Yeah,
But-
it's kind of tough over here, even with the Patriots and everything like that. We're
Yeah.
you realize how spoiled everyone over here is with winning.
Yeah.
you have a season where 2 seasons where you do somewhat decent, and that's not good enough. You know what I mean? So
I mean, last year for me, the Red Sox beat the Yankees to get into, I think it was a wild card game, so they advanced to the playoffs. That was my World Series. I didn't even care how far the Red Sox got after that.
I'm good.
They beat the Yankees. That's all that's enough for me.
Oh yeah.
But how far are you guys from the city?
Without traffic, like 45 minutes.
Oh,
But there's
sweet.
always traffic.
But with traffic, it's like what, an hour and 40?
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
Once you get to those tunnels in Boston, it's
Yeah,
kind of like
that's
everything's backed up.
impossible.
That's why it's great to ride a bus. You don't even know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, they got the trains, and they're building trains into the city that we live, so we'll be able to get down there a little easier.
that's sweet.
But yeah, I love Boston. I go there, pretty often, anyways. So
I was just there a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
My girlfriend and I celebrated our anniversary, and her favorite comedian, Dan Cummins, was at Laugh Boston. And we got there in record time because it was at 8 and it was like a Friday. So like I just like went right. I was like, I've never done this before. Like, so that's how short it is.
yeah, it's really not bad.
It's not.
I mean, I would take where you were at. If I was that far from Boston, the city, that'd be perfect for me. I don't even care if it took an hour 40 to get there.
Yeah.
No one's really familiar with Fall River though. It's like this old like industrial town.
Yeah, it's a mill town.
It was like a mill town.
Right on the
But
water.
I don't know, like most people when you say Fall River, they don't know it. But like I don't know if you're familiar with like Lizzie Borden or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like the most famous person
Yeah,
in Fall River, I guess.
And she was a murderer.
Yeah, and she's a murderer. So there you go.
It was a she.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it was.
What's her name?
Lizzie Borden.
What's the rhyme for it?
Yeah, they have like a nursery song for
Yeah.
it.
Something wax or something.
Lizzie Borden had an axe. She gave her father 40 whacks. When she realized what she'd done, she gave her stepmom 41.
I've never heard of a female murderer. That's
Yeah.
very rare.
The
Yeah.
1800s or something, right?
Yeah, they got the house.
Yeah, the house is like
the house
a,
that went down in.
It's like a
Fall River.
breakfast.
Yeah, it's like a diner. Like,
Yeah. No, it's a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, you can go there and soak in all the Fall River history.
Yeah. All the repressed.
So would you say Fall River is like a blue collar town?
Definitely, very
Yeah.
much so. Yeah.
So and you're a hardcore band.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, have you been in Fall River for your entire lives or?
I've born and raised in Fall River my whole life.
Okay.
My family actually immigrated from Portugal, and I was the first generation born here.
Really?
He's a little different.
I'm from
Yeah.
I'm from across the river.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's a river that divides Fall River and
Yeah.
Somerset. So he lives right.
I was a country boy.
Yeah, I could skip a rock to his house.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I actually just recently moved to Fall River, so soaking it all in.
Yeah.
You know,
Is the music scene there kind of a lot of hardcore or what's
there is no music scene in Fall River.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is sad.
It is. We
Yeah.
usually go to Providence, which is like 30 minutes away from us.
Okay.
So
Which
that's where it all is.
Yeah,
basically.
Providence. So fortunately, being in Massachusetts, you spent some time in Massachusetts. Everything's really like we complain about hour drives, but like when you go anywhere else in the States, what I mean, like an hour drive is if you go in the Walmart or something like that,
Right.
But we're never too far away from a major city and stuff like that.
No.
So Fall River is actually really close to like, Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut, where there's a decent hardcore scene. It's close to New Hampshire, it's close to Boston, it's close to Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
All areas where they have like a nest egg of hardcore. And don't get me wrong, like I don't know, probably when metalcore was really big, New Bedford had a really happening scene at that point in time. Which is New Bedford's like our neighboring city. It's a little bit away, but it's like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what really threw me into it. You know what I mean? It was just like,
well, my plan is we have a lot of VFWs around here. So we gotta convince at least one person to let me throw hardcore shows.
It's a shame. I know a lot of people from Fall River who love hardcore music, who love to get down.
I think
but they don't really cater to it here, like all of it's like
the funny thing is though, a lot of the bands that are like bring really big crowds in Providence are from Fall River.
Yeah, Fall River bands, yeah.
And nobody's thought to be like, hey, what if I just throw a VFW show? Because that would be insane. It'd be absolutely insane.
It's amazing the crowds that hardcore shows have. We actually just had a hardcore show here in Wilkes-Barre, PA, which is about 20 minutes from Scranton, where you guys were. I believe you guys played the V Spot, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome venue.
Yeah. I love that place. Vinny and Frank, the owners, are great people, huge supporters of the scene. But I want to share with you. You'll appreciate this. I'm gonna see if I can.
I can see it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try and get there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wait do you see this?
Oh my god.
That's the vibe I'm talking about right there, man.
Wait, just wait. Get on stage. Get back.
Oh, there it is.
Get back in the crowd.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tyler Kennedy for sharing that from the show last night. But yeah, I mean, hardcore music is not my thing. It's not. I don't know.
Not everyone's.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about hard. I mean, so I feel like your sound is a little different. There's some melodies in there. I can kind of understand your lyrics. It's not that just screaming like, double bass drum or whatever. Like it's just like I can understand what you're saying, and I like that kind of hardcore music. Outside of that, it's not my thing. But I mean, it all has its place, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he'll explain to you what our vision is.
Yeah, so like
tell me who Barry Giants are exactly.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit there when you were like, like hardcore bands, but we're a little different type deal. It's kind of tough to put us into like a genre type deal. I feel like I think at the bones we are a hardcore band. But like once you start fleshing it out a little bit, there's more stuff underneath it. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that we grew up in like this city, this city in Massachusetts, where like hardcore really or metal really isn't like the scene, right? Where like you go to high school or whatever, I go to high school, he goes to high school. It's predominantly like, hip hop and rap culture and stuff that kind of fuels the city that we live in. And with that being said, I have love for like all kinds of music. I don't typically put myself in the box as someone who just listens to metal music. It's definitely won over my heart in a sense, what I mean, with like what I have a passion writing, what I have a passion doing. But there's so much more, what I mean? And I think that like metal and hardcore music in general could be more, I mean? Why can't we have heavy riffs and also like a groove? Why can't we also make metal fun? You know what I mean? It's fun crowd surfing and then swanton bombing into crowds and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's also fun to bust a dance move every once in a while. And that's what we're trying to, hone in,
And I know we are different because Adam's more the proggy guy. Like you have a lot of prog elements, but I went to school for like jazz. So I was a jazz bass player.
He's the guy. I'm always like, hey, Will.
And he's always like, like we get to a part and he's like, all right, we'll do something. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And it's just something weird. Like we kind of like, we have the hardcore, but we have like I like to call us funk core. We have some funky riffs sometimes.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's usually the funk riff provider. Yeah. Hey, Will, give me something I can dance to right here. He's like, all right.
That's such a
But
cool
that's
thing about
kinda,
music is like, taking those elements and, people think hardcore and they think of like shaved heads and just screaming and thrashing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But I mean, you
I
have a
love it.
guy, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I love it, but there's more. There can definitely be more to it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, why can't I have a shaved head, Liberty Spike mohawk, but also get down with some dance moves on the dance floor? You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
Yeah.
um,
Well, I mean, I was just reading a post today. Some of the people in the scene, they're like, oh, great, another hardcore band. And I
yeah.
felt like comments like, check out my band right now. Like, it's like there's it's you can definitely see the oversaturation.
Yeah, right
Like,
now it's like everyone's trying to be the next Knocked Loose, and I
yeah,
fucking love Knocked Loose.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I fucking love them. I listen to them; they're a staple in all my playlists. But they're
There's only so many like you can only do that so many times without like doing something different.
yeah,
You
we
know?
want that energy. We want that energy in that video that you just showed us.
Mhm.
But we want to have a little more flavor in the crowd than that. You know what I mean?
Like we want people to be confused in the mosh pit because now I'm playing like a funk riff
Yeah,
for no like oh okay.
yeah. Play with their emotions.
Yeah.
Coming from like I like progressive music, like he was saying, a lot of progressive music. Just off the top of my head, like Code and Cambria, Heart and Hand, Napoleon, bands like that. Um, they kind of give you like a little bit extra. You know what I mean? It's like here's this build. We're gonna build the song. We're gonna build up your emotions and get you ready for this crazy drop. And they're like, just kidding. Before we drop, here's this, and now we drop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He loves doing that.
I love doing that.
Every time we're writing something, he's like, "Hey guys, what if we do this?" I'm like, "We already did that like 3 songs ago."
I mean, there's definitely some like pushback and a little bit of arguing when the writing process.
Well, I mean,
happens.
that's how
That's
it
part
goes,
of it, yeah.
You got to keep each other in check.
Can I smoke cigarettes during this?
Do whatever you want. Yeah.
Sick.
I'm drinking beer. So
Sick. I should have got a beer.
So I mean, what's your background as far as music goes? I mean, have you been into hardcore your entire lives, or like how did this kind of come about?
So I can answer this. So I graduated high school in 2017.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I immediately went to go work at one of the Amazon warehouses in Fall River. And our original guitarist was a boss. He was like a manager there. And he like went up to me one day and I'm like, shit, I'm in trouble. Like, great. And he's like, hey, you play bass, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, you're in my band now. I'm like, okay. But that's kind of how it started because I met him. We started a band and then that fell apart. And then he was like, all right. And then he hit me up like couple years later and he's like, hey, let's start another project. I have a singer. He's my barber.
Yeah.
And it was this guy. And then we found a drummer and then like, that's kind of how it was born. I mean, it was just, it kind of started from another band.
Okay.
I always liked metal music and like heavy music. I mean, I can't say always, right? So when I started off listening to stuff, it was kind of like my cousin put me on to like Blink 182 and like all those like pop punk bands that were really big when I was in middle school. And I still love them to this day. But I found myself like eventually I'm like, I want to listen to heavier. And then I started finding like I discovered like the new metal bands and stuff like System of a Down and Korn and Slipknot and stuff. And I was like, all right, this is fucking awesome. And then I'm like, after a year listening to that, I'm like, I need to get heavier.
I need more.
I need more. I need more. And then boom, that's like when metalcore started taking off, and it came in right when I needed it. You know what I mean? And then boom, Asking Alexandria, of Mice and Men, all these bands. And then once again, in the same fashion that it's been happening, is like I got kind of like not sick of it because I still listen to it, still in my playlist. I love it, but I was like, I need more. And then Knocked Loose and Kublai Khan and all these hardcore bands started coming out, and I'm like, oh, these guys got it. They, this is fucking sick. But it was kind of hard for me being someone who does like scream vocals, because as a scream vocalist trying to join a band, it turns out in the hardcore scene, usually when there's a scream vocalist in a band, he's usually like one of the guy's buddies. You know what I mean? in the band. And unfortunately, like when you tell someone like, hey man, I scream into a mic real good, they're like, yeah, that's cool, dude. You know, like they don't really take you seriously. So it took me a while to find a band. Um, Eventually I found one. I was in this like little project, and then that fell through because one of the members moved to California, and he was like the main riff writer and stuff. So things kind of fell apart. And then one day, you know, now I'm interlapping with his story. uh, I cut hair, and this dude walked in, and I do appointments only. I've been doing it for like 7 years now, so I got a nice clientele. But it was perfect because I had somebody who didn't show up to their appointment.
It was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Meant to be.
He walked in, and I was like, "You want a haircut? I can take you. You know what I mean? But don't get used to it because I'm appointments only, dude."
I'm appointments only. I'll make an exception for you though.
But you know, you can get a vibe when someone's like musically inclined or like artistic and stuff like that. So we sat down in the chair, and I was like, "Hey, you play music? You play guitar or something like that or whatever?" And he was like, "Yeah, I play guitar." I was like, "Sick. What kind of music you listen to?" And he's like, "Oh, Beartooth." He's giving listen out Devil Wears Prada, a bunch of these like metalcore bands and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, sick. You want to make a band?" And he was like, "Yeah, you know what I mean." So then it all
Hey.
what?
You already had me.
He did tell me that
So,
he was like,
yeah.
"I actually already have a bassist."
Don't exclude that.
He's like, "I already have a bassist." So then boom, it happened. And that's how we kind of like started out.
Yeah. And we started like at the perfect time. Like when we got the whole lineup together, we started at the perfect time, which
Really?
doesn't sound right.
I felt like it was very unperfect.
No, because it was right when so it was like before the pandemic. We'd been looking for like a rehearsal space, and we finally got one, and then the pandemic hit, and then we were like just making music with no pressure to do anything, like go play shows or start social media or anything. So like we kind of like just we're on the grind making music.
Yeah, right.
Through the whole pandemic.
So in that sense, it was good because typically, like at least my experience with, especially with the last band I was in, it's just we need to get this music done as quick as possible so we can get out there and start fucking kicking people and moshing and going off. You know,
like we really like.
But we weren't able to. Yeah, we weren't able
to.
Take
our time with
so we just sat down with the music,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I guess it was very unperfect, but yeah.
It was just weird to say, like it was perfect time. Pandemic happened.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I talked to a lot of musicians, obviously, and yeah, a lot of the people that I talked to was just like they kind of embraced the ability to be home and to focus on writing and creating as opposed to trying to book these shows and travel on the weekends and do this and do that, because much like you guys, a lot of them are also they have full-time jobs and their music is like the side hustle, so to speak. So the pandemic is weird. I mean, it definitely fucked a lot of shit up. I mean, it fucked my career path up and things like that. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm in a good place, but I guess it's all kind of what you make of it.
Yeah, it was an interesting time to say the least. But if one thing happened out of it, it just really slowed shit down. You know what I mean? It slowed everything down. So sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. In our case, it was a little bit for better because things were really speeding up real quickly, and it gave us time to sit back and really just focus in on what was important, and that was just getting the music as solid and really vibing with each other. We were all new to each other besides him and the guitarist, so we became really good homies, and we had a lot of fun writing music and also a lot of fights and along the way.
Well, our first rehearsal space was like this.
Not safe.
Not safe.
I've been in some pretty sketchy places growing up in Fall River. But this place was like, well, it was a band space.
It was an old mill building, as like any other space around here was. But it was like, I'm pretty sure, so like it was like an L, and like you would leave it, and I'm pretty sure the other side of the mill was just a crack house.
Yeah.
Because like there were some questionable people.
I think there were only like 3 bands in that building.
The
rest of the room, all the rest of the rooms was like people living there off of like hot plates and shit. Yeah.
Good times.
Thank God none of our equipment got stolen.
I know. I was like, we left our stuff there.
I know. We're in a much better place now.
That's good. I failed to get your names.
I'm Adam.
I'm Will.
Yeah, I do the vocals and
I play the bass.
He plays the bass.
Very cool. And Will, I met you. I met you at the.
Yeah, you met me.
Yeah.
officially. Yeah.
I was walking around.
I showed up. I had to drive up
Yeah.
because during that time we were in between drummers. We finally found a full-time drummer, but I had to drive the drummer we had subbing in for us the day of the show. So we took that 5-hour drive, and then we got to the spot. We ate pizza real quick, and we went right to do the show.
And like the drummer has like the worst headache.
Yeah.
Too. It was terrible.
How were you received in Scranton, Pennsylvania?
So when we played, we were the openers, and there weren't a lot of people there, but honestly, I think it was like well worth it because we got a lot of good information that weekend.
Yeah.
Especially for me, because I do all like the booking and I do all the reaching out and all that stuff. So for me, I think that was like a really successful weekend. Especially like you get bits and pieces of how to do stuff in the scene and how to like email and how to reach out, but like hearing it from people, like I don't want to say like big people, but like like successful people in their craft.
Yeah.
Like, directly telling you this stuff, it was like it further solidified all the information for me. I had fun playing. It doesn't really matter how many people are at the bar.
The people that were there, they definitely especially like there was a lot of bands there at that time because typically the bands will be the ones there for the opening act. You know what I mean? They seem to receive us really well.
Yeah.
They seem to really like us. And one thing that we really focus on is kind of like our stage presence. I like to dance a lot. I like to move around a lot. I like to be really active. And a lot of people were seeming to vibe with it, and they seem to vibe with the tunes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a stage presence and kind of even mask if you were shitty musicians. Not that you are, but you could almost mask a little bit of that just by having a stage presence and kind of just getting the crowd into it that way too.
Someone told me that there's like two kinds of bands out there, right? And you can either be the band, right, that's like super tight. You go up there, everything sounds straight like it came out the recording, right?
Yeah.
Or you can be the band that's like trying to climb the rafters.
Yeah.
And everything sounds debauchulated, but it's still like the essence of the song. But these guys are going nuts. You know what I mean? And I think that we're kind of on that way.
I think we have a good like balance.
This balance, yeah. But we definitely get buck, so
that's cool.
That's kind of like what we like to keep going.
Yeah.
I just saw the Killers recently, and their opener was boring as hell. Like I'm like, you're opening for the Killers, and like you're boring the shit out of me. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Killers or if you've seen YouTube videos or whatever, but like, holy shit, they lit off fucking confetti cannons first song, and he didn't stop the entire night. He's one side to the other, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen. It was just it's so cool, and music is such a powerful thing, and just being in that moment and seeing those different things and just getting those goosebumps is it's pretty special. So for you guys to have that, being aware of that and focusing on that and making sure that's part of who you are as a band is, I think, very important. So
we want to make sure that we're worth people's time. You know what I mean? People spend their time, they look forward to going out there and watching a band play.
Want to see a show.
Yeah. And I want to give them a show. You know what I mean?
No, we just bought like a bunch of lights that we're gonna try and
so
get a little light action on the stage.
When you play at like bigger venues, they have lights and stuff for you, but like especially when you play at smaller venues, we're a band that's starting out. We're trying to get our name out there and we're trying to do all we can do. So for those little like dive bars or for those VFWs and stuff like that, they are fun to play. Sometimes you got to bring your own flair to them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that really stuck with me was I went to go see. I've seen a lot of bands live because obviously I'm a lover of music, And there's one band that I went to go see. There's actually a venue around New England over here where that a lot of people like. It's called the Palladium in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they have this upstairs. They have the upstairs and they have the downstairs. I've seen a bunch of bands in like the stadium that they have downstairs, but the upstairs has always been the best shows for me. It's like this hallway. It's like this hallway with like a balcony, and the balcony you can only hold like two people. Like it's two people wide, and you this packed like sardines, and I went to go see Enter Shikari, and it was just absolute chaos, and it was beautiful. It was like beautiful chaos, and that's what kind of stuck. Like that show specifically stuck with me, and I would like to harness that. Like they were like throwing the amps into the crowd. Yeah, they were throwing the amps into the crowd.
My amp in the crowd.
They were jumping on top of the amp while the dude's playing guitar, dude.
Oh my God.
The bassist is climbing up to the fucking second floor balcony. You got people on the second floor rafters trying to like grab the bassist and shit. It was just absolute madness. I lost both my shoes. I lost both my shoes, man. I was barefoot, dude. I was barefoot. My feet were just getting stomped in the pit.
Oh, jeez.
I at the end of the show, I waited until everyone cleared out because I was like, I gotta find my shoes, man. I'm not walking outside. So the shoes weren't even anywhere close to where I lost them. They were like on the other side of the venue, man. It was nuts. But that was a good time.
I never heard this.
And that's why, to anyone going to a hardcore venue, make sure you tie your laces around your ankle like they're work boots or hockey skates, because you're gonna lose them. You're gonna lose them, especially if you want to get in the sauce. If you want to get in the mosh pit.
I crowd surfed for the first and last time at a fucking at a Blink 182 show. It was like 2003 or 04. I forget exactly what year it was.
Oh, that must have been awesome though.
So what I had sandals on.
Oh no!
So I went up and I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get pushed to the front, and then I'll just hang out up front, and I'll watch the show from like front row. I was young. I didn't never do that kind of shit before, and they threw you over the fucking barricade, and the guy's like, "All right, be on your way." At that point, I was with one sandal. I lost one, and I'm in the show, and like where the show was, like I'd have to walk probably a good mile, maybe two, to my car through like gravel parking lots and shit like that. So same thing. I waited till after the show was over. I went to the guy. I'm like, "Do you have one that matches this?" And he's like, "Yeah, hold on 1 second." Looks down.
Oh, that's epic.
Like a bag of.
Yep. And he gave it to me.
Yeah, man. And it was nowhere where you were, huh?
No. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I was. Well, I know what I was thinking. I was hammered. I was drinking in the parking lot prior to that, and that's not my style. I'm not one to go crowd surfing and shut that and a Blink show too. Like that's weird, but whatever.
Yeah, they used to have you ever gone to Warp Tour?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, so used to go to like I used to go to a lot of Warp Tours, and the one in like Mansfield and stuff like that. And people crowd surf, and that's all like concrete floor.
Yeah. Yep.
You just see people getting taken out. You know what I mean? Like I went to see Suicide Silence. I saw them. It was probably the heaviest band I saw at Warp Tour, dude. And people just dropping. I'm seeing stretches. There's like 3 people getting carried out. It's just not a good look, man.
No, it's not.
And to be honest, like, I'm not the lightest dude. I think I weigh like 210 pounds. Like I think my crowd surfing days are probably away from me. But I still like to get into the pit. I still like to throw down, push some people around, and really feel the vibe in the room.
Yeah, I got into a pit once. It was my first and last time in the pit. I got fucking thrown around. I woke up the next day and I felt like a fucking truck hit me, and I was limping around. I mean my hip was just destroyed.
It can get brutal in
That
there.
happens,
Well, well, again, I mean I was fueled by Miller Lite, and I just wanted to do it. And back then I was probably 155, 160 pounds. No, I'm not, nothing big. I'm much heavier now these days, but yeah, so I was just getting thrown around. It was not a smart thing to do, but
you want to know what's also beautiful about like these hardcore shows and stuff like that? I'm sure you've seen it at some metal shows and stuff that you've gone to. There's like obviously the atmosphere is very hectic and there's a lot of chaos. But then like somebody like this guy loses his glasses.
Oh my God.
And you see and you see everyone make a circle around him,
Yep.
to see if he can find it in the immediate area.
Yeah.
Like people also understand that they're all there to have a good time.
Yeah.
right. That's super cool. Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Even if you do fall, someone's picking you up to get you back in
on
there.
your feet, bud, yeah.
Yeah.
Get back in there.
That's sweet.
Hit the first person you see.
Yeah. There's definitely like this like a family and this thing about hardcore. And Wilkes-Barre, PA, I mean, I don't know what we're known for our hardcore scene, but kind of. I mean, I'm trying to think of some band names that have come out of here, but like we had like an Albatross was big out of here. One Step Closer is from this area. Um, it seems that like just a lot of hardcore bands come out of here, which is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. We feel the same way about Massachusetts. Like,
well, the Brockton scene has a lot of like straight edge hardcore or like that straight ahead, like it's hardcore to the bones. And then Providence has more metalcore actually, from what I've noticed.
yeah, a couple bands that like big bands that came out of here that I thought was really cool was like Ice Nine Kills. They're
Oh,
from
cool.
they're from Boston,
They're
Massachusetts, I believe.
from, yeah, they're like, I think they're from Dudley or something.
They're from Massachusetts.
Yeah, they're from Mass. They're from Boston.
And then Vanna. I don't know if you're familiar with Vanna, but they were like they came into the scene like as soon as like metalcore started blowing up, and they were kind of like in the mix with those bands like of Mice and Men and Asking Alexandria, and they're from I think they're actually from Worcester. So yeah. So
I believe it.
There's definitely bands that have blown up from around here, and that's good to see.
There's
And
definitely bands that are like on their way around here.
Yeah.
Like,
cool.
they're still doing like the local level and they're doing their tours, but they're definitely like maybe in the next, I don't know, couple of years they're definitely gonna get blown up. I mean, you can see that shit.
Yeah. That's cool. And you guys put out an EP last year.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes,
we
Exhumed.
Exhumed, which is available streaming everywhere. You got together before the pandemic. You focused on writing. Talk a little bit about that EP and how it all came together.
So that EP, since we did, so actually the single and that EP were all like written at this kind of the same time, but we wanted to like get a single out there and then kind of dip our toes, and then I think the EP really is like our foundation of what we're like. It's there, like our sound is in that EP, and it's something like we're definitely gonna build off of.
It's really raw.
It is.
It's really raw to like it's like it's tough because it's like the EP, once again, it was like our first time all getting together and spitballing ideas and putting together music. We butt heads a lot.
Yeah.
But we were onto something, and we feel like in that EP is something that is different but familiar, Yeah. And it's now we're at a point after releasing that EP where we're really trying to fluff that up, a little bit and make it hone in our sound and really kind of when we're heavy, we want to be heavy.
His favorite saying.
Like heavier than what that EP was. We love that EP. That EP is very dear to our heart, and we think that it, personally, I feel like it's a really good, and I love our music in it. But you're always thinking as musicians, as a band, like what can you do more? Like how can you advance what you do? You know what I mean? While still keeping the essence that what makes you. So when we're heavy, we want to be heavy, but when we're fun, we want to be fun. You know what I mean? So I think really going forward, anyways, dividing those two things up and really focusing in on that will really play into our future writing stuff. But Exhumed was fun, man. Exhumed was fun. That was fun.
It was.
It
was. We got that EP done in 2 days recording it.
2 days recording, yeah.
It was
our first time recording ever. That was fun. That was also exhausting.
It was. And then me and you did all the gang vocals.
Yeah. We did the gang vocals. We did some layering, some different pitches, trying to swing our voices and stuff. It was typically how it would go.
I think for our first release, I think that was great.
Yeah,
I think it was successful for us.
Yeah, it's a great like intro to who you are, and like kind of setting the tone for your future.
And the name's fitting for that, Exhumed.
Right?
Like, that's what, we're buried giants.
Yeah.
And we thought it would be a good idea to exhume the giants with the first EP.
Yeah. So, what's the name? Where'd that come from?
That's all you, bud.
Yeah, I got it. So Buried Giants. So when we first started being a band, we were having trouble coming up with some band names, and I forgot what I saw. I saw something.
I think you saw a book.
Well, no, I went to Barnes and Nobles with my lady, and
lady friend.
They were actually, it was actually perfect timing because me and my girlfriend, we were at Barnes and Noble because she likes books, and they were arguing about band names, and like I think it was like Murder She Wrote.
Murder She Wrote.
Like our guitarist was trying to say like that should be the name, and then we were shitting on him.
It's not terrible. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. She just died recently, I think.
Yeah,
Landry, right?
Yeah. R.I.P. But so I was in Barnes and Noble, and while these guys were arguing and like shitting on our guitarist and stuff like that, I was just sending book titles. So like I did this whole, like I sent like a bunch, but some that I remember are like, I remembered Arguing with Zombies. I really liked that one, and I was really pushing towards that one. But
then we were shitting on you.
And then they were shitting on me. And then I found one, and it was like Giants Buried Underground or something like that was the name of the book. And then these guys like stopped shitting on everyone, and they were just like, all right, how about like Giants Buried, or like Underground Giants, or like, and we kind of did it, and then we're like, what about Buried Giants? And then I was like, oh, this is getting good.
That's good.
This is getting good. The Buried Giants. And they're like, nah, fuck you. No. They're like, nah, fuck you, Adam. That's terrible. All right. And then it spiraled because now there's like a shit ton of ways to spell buried. So like, how are we gonna spell buried here? You know? So but we ended up sorting it out, and that's kind of how we came up with that.
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble.
Not really any like
shout out to Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, sponsor us.
Well, yeah, I mean it's one of those things. It's like a throwaway question, right? Like, how did you get your name? Well, and some people have a really interesting story, and some people just like
it worked out. Yeah. I think it's a cool name. I still think
it's definitely a cool concept that we could expand on.
It's a cool concept that we can expand on. It's kind of like, I don't know, like an oxymoron type deal. I don't know if that's the right thing, but like, you know, giants are kind of something very large to be buried.
Sure.
Be buried.
And, you know, I think it also has to do a lot with like, I also thought it was cool because, yeah, we have this huge sound. We have this huge thing that we're trying to give to people. And technically, you know, at the bones, hardcore music in general tend to be a real hard, like an underground thing. You know what I mean? So
that's good. Bit of
that plays into it.
And you can kind of think about like, you know, I'm sure you can probably get like very creative with like merch and you know, imagery for whether it's.
We definitely have some stuff we're working on.
Yeah, some ideas and concepts.
Yeah.
If you need a t-shirt printer, I know one.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Awesome. Definitely.
Yeah. I work at a screen print shop.
Oh yeah, there it is, dude.
There it is. Yeah. Connection.
Axelrad screen printing. Here it is.
There it is.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, we print for like Breaking Benjamin. We print for Cold, Tiger's Jaw. Yeah, but enough of the free plugs for work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like it's important to always think about like, because sometimes people just like, oh, the name sounds cool, but they don't think about the fact that like, well, how are we going to market this? How are we going to, you know, do the merch or album covers or whatever it might be? So it's like, you probably heard a lot about that at the conference about, you know, kind of, you know, being marketable and being able to promote yourself in different ways and things like that.
Which none of us was familiar with prior.
These were, it's what's interesting is we like started this band and like none of us were like ever in any other bands that did anything. So we were all like really new of
like how to go about this professionally, I guess is what it comes down to is
like I was always good at like planning stuff. So I was like, I'll just do the booking and I'll do all that stuff.
Dictating work, you know, you have bandmates and more than just bandmates that people you can lean on to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of dictates their own thing. I typically handle the artwork, the merch and stuff like that. He typically handles the booking. And that, you know, it's finding that balance. And to be honest, to come at it at a professional, we realize that like, if we're gonna do it, we got to make it like part of our lives. Like, it's gotta be work. It's gotta be band. You know, I mean, it's gotta be ingrained every day. We got to get something done related to the band. And going forward, we're trying to have a strategy and a plan to get that done.
Well, you guys are young too. You have a lot of time to you know, you can put the time into it now. Like,
Yeah.
you get to people like, my age, like I'm gonna be 40. This might not even be released. My goal is to get this out. Let's see, either next week or the week after. So this might be released like the week of my birthday.
Happy belated, happy almost.
No, but what I'm getting at is like, you get to the age where you're 40, and like I've got 2 kids, I have a wife, I have a house. Like, there's a lot of like things that like, I can't like, this is kind of a side hustle, right? This is, I mean, I do this when my kids are sleeping, and I'm sure my wife loves the time to watch, fucking killer movies and shit like that. But the time you have now is, you're young, like hit the ground running, push hard, take chances, and hopefully they all pay off.
Yeah, we love it. Use our free time to move towards something that's a dream. I mean, and it's a dream that many people have. And to be honest, I feel like the only way, if everyone's dreaming to become a rock star, then what really sets the people apart that actually make it as rock stars? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it has to do with dedication and being able to put in that work and being able to put in that time, right?
And my way of thinking is, if we don't get to rock star stardom, I mean, it's kind of the journey, really, for me.
Of course, yeah. I mean, definitely.
When I'm
Fuck that, I'm trying to be a rock star.
But I'm like, really, when I'm older, I want to be able to like look back and be like, I did all this. I didn't make it, but like I did all of it.
Yeah.
But if I do make it, great.
There's opportunity. Like, I mean, what's making it? It's subjective, right? It's like, I mean, you guys could do like a mini tour where it's, travel on the East Coast or whatever it might be. Like, some people don't even get to see like that much of the world, because they go to high school, they go to college, they get married, have kids, and they're in their little corner of the world. Whereas like, you're in a band, like, it's a grind, right? It's in addition to your full-time job and shit like that. But like, you get to travel and see different cities and meet new people. And is it on the level of Blink-182? Maybe one day, but like, if not, like, that's still a special part of the process and the whole overall uh you know experience.
I mean, when we went to PA, I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. Like, I was all about it that weekend.
We just want to give it 100%. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if we give it 100%, I think there's nothing to be discouraged or upset about, because we know that we gave it our all. You know what I mean?
For sure. It was a moment in my life I was this fucking close to quitting my day job and becoming a barber.
Really?
Yeah, this close. It was 2016. I was in sales. I was working in I was like at a radio station doing sales, and like, I'm really happy I didn't. I'm happy that I didn't, because
barbering sucks.
I doubt that.
No,
your back probably hurts.
I go in there, you're shooting the shit all day.
Well, that's what I mean. I got like, I mean, I started going to a barber in like 2015-ish, and just the whole experience, like, if it's done right, like, you can give your customers this 30 minutes of like, I don't know what to call it, just like, I don't know.
Relaxation. There's not too many outlets for dudes, you know what I mean?
For me and him, it's hypotheticals. We like to talk about hypotheticals.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could do anything, right? And just, for me, it was like, you walk in. I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan, and my barber would always have the Joe Rogan podcast on TV, or if not that, it was some music, and you just talk about shit. You talk about like stuff you can't talk about, with just anybody, right? Like, a fight with your girl, or like, just how different men and women are in general, because like, we are like, it's such a cool place, just that barbershop, right? And I was in sales. I'm like, this fucking sucks. Like, a lot of things happened after I decided not to be a barber, which kind of, the sales career took off. I had a radio show, eventually got canceled. That's why I'm doing this. But I'm happy that I chose the route that I did, but I'm also kind of like, what could have been. But also, like, being a barber, you're on your feet all day. Like I feel like eventually my back would hurt.
Yeah, my back definitely hurts.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely, I've been doing it for 7 years, and so I kind of fell into it. I was kind of like, like typically how barbers start off, and I'm sure you've heard the story, is like, you're cutting all your buddies in the basement. They're coming over. You guys, you smoke a bone together, and you go downstairs, and you're like, hey, let me give you a mohawk, and then they're like, nah, and I'm like, but it's free. Yeah. And they're like, you don't mess up my hair, and I was like, it's fine. And then
It grows back. Yeah.
So yeah, years of doing that, cutting my brother's hair and everything like that. So eventually I ended up, I went to college for a little bit, and I went to the barber shop, and I was bitching to my barber. He's been my barber since I was like 13, about how shitty school is. And like we joke about it to this day in the shop because I now work with him. And he's like, come on, man. You're not cut out for school.
No, thanks for being honest.
Yeah. Why don't you just go to barber school? I'll give you a
Yeah.
chair. And I'm like, all right. So here we are today. So, but ultimately, I love cutting hair, but I still, music is the goal for me. It's always been the goal for me.
Yeah.
Ever since
Well,
school.
I feel like, I mean, every barber that was working in the shop that I went to, or I go to rather, they were all musicians too. Like, and that's what I was worried about too. I'm like, I don't know if I could be a barber because I'm very like anal, and I'm very like I want things to be perfect, and I feel like if I saw a line that wasn't the way I wanted it to be, I would try and like go after it and just completely fuck it up. But I was also worried, like I'm like, what if I'm not good at it? Like, I mean, I'm not an artist. Like, I mean, I used to draw when I was younger, but like I felt like there's this like a creative bone in people's bodies, like musicians and artists and things like that. You kind of have to have. And I was like, I don't know if I have that. Like, I have people skills. I could talk to people.
That's
So maybe I
good.
should stick with this sales game.
Yeah, a lot of it comes from like, yeah, you got to be able to dive into it. You got to be able to like, uh, I was definitely like, I'm kind of like same boat as you. Like I used to draw when I was younger. I was pretty good compared to like other people in art class. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I wasn't like this crazy artist, but I definitely I've always been more on the artsy side with music, playing guitars, screaming into the mic, singing, all that stuff. And then I feel like, but also you touched on like punctual, like really trying to make sure things come out perfect, being anal. What I mean? Like yeah, you might fuck up a fade trying to chase a line, but after you do it once, you won't fuck it up again because now you know what not to do. You know what I mean? And you just attack it that way. You keep building upon your repertoire of skills.
Yeah. Your hair is cool as shit, man.
Thanks, dude.
Whoever did that, that's awesome.
I actually cut it up myself.
Did you really?
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Because we had the photo shoot 2 days ago.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So, but my boy, the other guy I cut hair with, he wasn't able to get me in. So I was like, all right, dude, fuck you.
I actually went to cut my hair during the pandemic, and I was just going to shave it all off, right? But I did the sides, went around. I'm like, wow, it's actually not too bad.
Yeah, there it is.
And I let it go, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be one of those things like, when I'm, 80, God willing, I lived that long. They'll be like, what if I went and became a barber? Where would my life have gone?
You would have crushed it, dude.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
You'd be doing podcasts about being a barber.
That'd be sweet.
I always think that's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
Have a podcast in a barbershop.
A bobcast?
But I don't know.
Well, no. So LeBron. So before LeBron James, I forget what his show's called. Shit. The Shop, I think it might be called.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's basically they just hang out in a barbershop setting and they talk about whatever. And I'm like, I'm sure I wasn't the first person to have this idea, but like I wanted to do that, years and years ago before that even came out. Just because like the stuff that happens and that's talked about in barbershops, it's just a lot of fun.
It's a safe place for us dudes. I don't feel like we get very much too many outlets.
No, we don't.
But I'm lucky.
And it's another thing too. It's like, well, who wants to like record that and have it put out there? It's a safe space. It's that's where we go to be men and fart and talk about tits and shit.
Talk about Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. So you just had a photo shoot, you said?
Yes,
dude.
Yeah. So
Did those photos come back? 'Cause I'm gonna need a photo of the band so I can put a promo up when I release this.
yeah, we can definitely send one your way.
Yeah.
Sweet, awesome.
We, um,
Like a horizontal one.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll shoot you. Actually, I'll do it right now while we're talking. But I'll shoot you an example of an example of what I've need it for. I guess you could say.
Yeah, we just did a photo. The photo shoot was for
Our single.
we have a single release coming out. It's called Seppuku.
Oh, we're announcing it.
I mean, we don't have a set.
You just did.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, we don't have a set date for it. We're working on it right now.
Yeah, we're just getting all of our.
We're getting all of our eggs in the basket.
the basket.
And eggs in a row. I wanted to say
Is
for
that
some
what
reason.
No.
Ducks in a row. Eggs in one basket. Ducks in a row.
Ducks,
Yeah,
we're
that's
getting our ducks on eggs or some shit.
Ducks on egg. That's what it is.
So we're getting everything ready, and then we'll have a set date, but it will be
Sweet.
soon, and we're really happy with it. So
Yeah, for sure.
and there's pictures. So
There's
Yeah.
some fast pictures we got.
So you're all in. What's next for Buried Giants?
What's next? What we're gonna do next year is we're gonna go strictly DIY all next year. I'm gonna book shows for us. Because
Put it together
when we went
ourselves.
to PA, that they basically just told us like just do DIY because all the door money will get split evenly to the bands, and then obviously we'll keep all merch.
you don't got to worry about promoters not promoting you properly.
Yeah,
You
Right.
promote yourselves.
yeah,
You get it done. You fill up the room. And you're in charge of making sure everyone has a good
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean? And I think there's something to be said, especially for bands starting out.
and especially at this point in time right now, it's definitely a great time to do DIY because just like state of the scene, it's just better to go that route right now for us. Because it's just I don't want to say anything like bad.
But we're writing, and we're trying, like I said, we're trying to hone in our sound.
Yeah.
We wanna really dial in on what makes us us. I feel like doing the same thing that everyone else does never made anyone famous, right? So
Right.
we're trying to bring people something familiar but different. And I think with our next stuff that we're gonna be having the show is really gonna shine on that
Yeah.
aspect. You know what I mean? It's
That's
like,
sweet.
hey, we're heavy, but also this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
You can also fucking
like
dance.
yeah.
We definitely made a lot of good friends. You know, I think this year was more of like, okay, figuring out how to do things, and I think
Sure.
next year we're gonna be like, all right,
we're gonna hit the ground running.
we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Do it the right way.
Well, the EP is great. It's called Exhumed. It's on all the streaming services. Check that out. And I'm excited to see what you guys do next.
Thank you very much,
Thank
man.
you.
It was one of those things. It was like, when you came out to me and approached me, and then check out my band. It's we're hardcore. I'm like, fuck, like, like I don't know. It's not my thing, right? But like also like, I mean, my job isn't to like, what do you call it? What's the word? Discriminate. This is about music, and it would be ignorant of me to not at least talk about these different genres, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, so when I listened to it, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is good. Let's let's definitely talk.
Oh yeah, dude.
So-
I appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
man. That means
Yeah.
a lot.
Where can people find you on social media?
Find us on Instagram at Buried Giants MA, and then Facebook Buried Giants. We're also on TikTok now.
Yeah, we're on TikTok.
How's that going?
That is,
It's
I'm
tough.
still trying to figure that out. Actually,
TikTok's tough.
it is.
I mean, it's really not tough, but it is tough. I think
It's-
how simple it is what makes it difficult. You know?
I think what I'm trying to figure out right now is just finding when to post, like a specific time during the day, for me.
where we'll get
But
our
like
best.
I just don't know because
Yeah.
I'll post a video at like 2 p.m. one day and we'll get like 50 views, and then the next day I'll post at 2 p.m. and then we'll get like 700. And it's like I don't know what to do with that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, try being a 40-year-old man.
the only reason why I had
TikTok.
TikTok was because my girlfriend sent me TikTok videos. That was my experience with TikTok before.
And they're hilarious, right? They're
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome. but
So it is.
I'm not funny. I'm not and I have no idea how to utilize it for this platform because I don't want to be one of those like you get those people who like just post all their boring shit on every platform, Facebook, Instagram, fucking LinkedIn. People are posting shit on. And it's like this doesn't belong on fucking LinkedIn. Like so stop that shit. But like I'm not fucking funny. So I was like, how do I utilize this for my show? I'm like, I don't know. So I ended up fucking posting, like fucking blasting my kid with a water balloon.
That's good, man.
Yeah, I mean, it did great. It got a lot. It performed very well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look here and see
Maybe
what.
I should blast you with a water balloon.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
by accident, complete accident. I just threw it at him, and he kind of like ran into it. You know, it's almost 1,700 views. I'll take it.
And it's so weird because we have a TikTok video of us going to Waffle House because so the weekend we went to PA, all we did for breakfast was went to Waffle House. And we made a video. It's like, hey, we're at Waffle House, and that's it. And I got like 900 views. and then I actually put time into a video that got like 90. Like, I don't get this.
Yo, one of your videos is 666.
Oh,
that's
I'm gonna watch it right now. Hopefully it'll bump it up.
I hope it's the nipple.
Okay.
We'll chuck up the horns for that one, man.
Get that out of there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. TikTok is it's a young man's game.
Yeah,
It is.
We're trying to juggle it. That's one thing. Another thing in PA that they really kind of stressed to us was get on the TikTok wave. So we're gonna try our best.
Yeah, I wish I was a female in these times because I would sign up for OnlyFans tomorrow. I would be on OnlyFans tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean,
it's never been easier for a woman to make money.
He's had an OnlyFans. So.
I did have one. Yes.
What did you do?
I played bass naked.
Yeah? Did you make any money?
I got like $5.
Oh, man. There's got to be something.
Post like every day.
There's got to be something men can do.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of like niche.
I'm totally supportive of his OnlyFans career.
Dude,
I say it's even better for the band. Go on OnlyFans. I said all the time, bass, dick.
Yeah.
Just
oh man.
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. So I did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
$5. Okay.
Out there on the front lines, man, you know? Anything for the band.
I wish. You know, I would definitely show my butthole for thousands of dollars.
Me too.
Like this girl is showing their fucking feet and shit, or selling their underwear. It's like, what the fuck?
They're selling like their bathwater for hundreds of dollars.
And nobody wants to see your feet.
I know, right? Nobody wants
Stick to the base. And,
There's idiots. There's idiot guys spending money on farts in a bottle. What the fuck are we doing?
Bathwater. What the fuck?
Yeah. Or like some guy bought a Twitch streamer like a PS5. Like for like I don't get it.
What does that have to do for OnlyFans?
But it's like they have an OnlyFans too, and that's where they
he bought a PS5 and that was part of his OnlyFans. People tuned into OnlyFans
no, like
to watch him buy a PS5.
Just how much you're not getting what I'm saying, bro. They have an OnlyFans, right? And like one of the OnlyFans the OnlyFanners bought this OnlyFans woman a PS5 just because he was simping so hard.
Hey,
like you can't even get a PS5 now.
Only bands.
Only bands.
What about that?
Whoa, you're onto something now. Only bands.
Only bands.
It's just a page where just bands. Just
whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Like you guys would be up for that.
That's like bands in town, but only bands. I like that.
Yeah.
That could be something.
I think so.
We gotta claim it right now.
I'll write this down.
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's just like weird, like bass shit. It's just you, Will, naked playing your bass.
Yeah, that's me.
That's where he does his best work. I mean, Flea did it.
Yeah, dude. When I saw that documentary of like the Woodstock,
you're like, that's me.
Oh my god!
Like, holy shit, he was like naked.
Oh yeah,
like, no shoes or anything.
Yeah, he did not give a fuck. No, I was not. I was old enough to be. I was probably 17 at the time, I think it was. But I grew up in the country, so like I didn't experience anything outside the country until I was in college. Really, I mean, I went to college in the city, which was Wilkes-Barre. But it wasn't until then where I was like introduced to like going out to see bands and shit like that. Like it just I don't know.
That was a crazy documentary.
Yeah,
It was.
They got like
Korn absolutely crushed it.
it was just so like not
The vibe.
just watching it was like giving me anxiety because like it was people that were like that used to do Woodstock back in the day where it was just a different time.
Mhm.
And then they have like these heavy bands and then they expect people to be like the same way.
Right.
It's not.
Well, there was like 5 bathrooms.
Oh yeah, and then people are like,
did you watch the documentary?
Yeah, I watched the whole fucking documentary.
Yeah.
Also,
did you? Like, did they really think it was gonna be peace,
also,
love, and happiness with like Limp Bizkit?
Maybe if you were on more drugs.
Oh yeah, that'll help.
Maybe if you were on more drugs, you would have
no
felt
water.
less anxious.
yeah,
while
no
watching
water,
it.
swimming and shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was like I was watching it like especially towards the end when it was getting like really serious. I'm like, holy shit.
The band's tore it up though. It's not their fault.
They did.
It's not their fault.
And like they were trying to blame the bands. I'm like, don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you pay them to do. It's crazy. I was like pissed off by the end of it. It's like I can't believe they let all that happen.
Well, and that's why there will never be anything like that ever again. Just too much liability. Like we'll never experience that.
It's sad.
It sucks. Yeah, it is sad. Some people just want to have a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
Smoke some fucking weed, watch some music, drink some beers.
And I'm sure there were some people in that crowd that were just there for the good time. But a lot of the people there.
Yeah, you cage thousands of people in a place. Don't give them the amenities to survive.
Yeah. To survive.
They're gonna become feral real quick. You know,
that's a fucking that's a science experiment. So, well, good news is that I think the Yankees are losing currently.
Oh yeah.
Fuck the Yankees.
Fuck the Yankees.
God damn it. Well, hey, that's all I have for you guys. Unless you got more you want to talk about.
What was that?
Unless you have more you want to talk about.
Do you have anything to talk about, Adam?
I mean,
I think we hit all of it.
Yeah, we hit all of it. Just stay tuned. We're a hardcore band out of Massachusetts. We are trying to bring you more than heavy music. Funkcore.
I like that.
Enjoy it.
And I'll write that down. Funkcore. I like that.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for reaching out. It was a pleasure meeting you guys at the conference. That was my first time kind of moderating a panel. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really know when I should interject and when I shouldn't, and it was kind of weird for me. But like it was cool just to kind of hear the people, like you said, who've been doing it for 20 plus years and who've experienced the wins and losses and it's weird. The world's a weird place, and that's what worked 5 years ago doesn't necessarily work now. You have to be on the TikTok and like all that kind of shit. It sucks. Like it's like the minute that you figure something out, it's like, okay, well that's fucking archaic now. Like now what?
It really sucked because I had just gotten down Instagram. Like really, like I just really figured out how to utilize Instagram, and then we went to PA, and he's like, "You need to get on TikTok right now." I'm like, "Great, now I need to figure out TikTok." And it's just like it's just constantly learning things.
It's hard. Yeah, it's a full-time job. I mean,
I'm kind of on my phone running our social media while I'm like cutting metal at work.
Very safe.
That's dangerous.
Very safe. Dangerous.
I will say that it's dangerous. I hope your HR department does not watch this.
I don't. Yeah.
Very Giants coming to a venue near you. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Soon.
So.
So too. You'll definitely have to come back to Scranton.
Definitely.
Dude, I'll hit you up when we're coming back to Boston. Maybe you'll meet us out.
Oh, yeah. Go catch a game.
Yeah, we go to a bar. JJ Donovan's, is that in Quincy Market? I think.
Yeah, I think that's right around there.
I think so.
Fucking the bartender. I mean, I've been going since 2007, and he's been there since I've been going. So probably even before that. Same miserable fucking guy, but it's awesome. I love it.
The homie, dude.
Oh.
I love it. I love it. One of my favorite cities in the world for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Boston loves.
Oh yeah.
I'm the representative, apparently.
Yeah, are you? It's actually really funny. One more thing I want to say.
Sure.
When we were at PA, and I was telling people where we were, like where we came from.
Were we the only band that traveled that far for the?
I think so. I didn't really see any other Massachusetts bands.
How did you guys even get there? Like,
I mean, we drove.
well, no, not how did you get there literally, but like how did you hear about the conference? Like,
sent us like
He was like, "You need to do this."
well, he
Okay.
was like, hey, it was kind of like a hey, you should sign up for this.
Yeah, but it was kind of like, sign up for this or else we're kicking you off.
No, we didn't. He didn't say that. But he kind of like just kind of threw it on the table, and that was, oh man, I think it was like the beginning of the year, I think. And I signed us up for it, and then I never heard anything, and I totally forgot about it. And then we got hit up on our Instagram, and like, oh yeah, we're ready.
And we locked in.
So we locked into it, and it was just.
It wasn't a bad drive. Pennsylvania is beautiful.
It's not a bad drive. It reminded me of New Hampshire.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it reminds me of New Hampshire.
I was like,
The drummer got he you know how you were saying he had a headache.
hey, you booked us in the mountains.
He got
at an Airbnb.
he got elevation sickness. He got
in
elevation.
PA?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. You got elevation sickness.
Well, I mean, like, so we left.
Well, don't let him go to fucking Colorado.
Yeah,
my little caravan. We left like later. We left at like 4 because our guitarist got out of work at like 3. So like we got there at like 12, and it was like we're like going through these winding roads because the Airbnb was like in this. It was like this campground place.
I wish I remembered the name of the mountains that we stood at.
It was like this. It was kind of like a community. It was like
Poconos?
summer homes, I guess you could say, kind of.
Poconos?
I don't know.
I think that's what it was called.
Lake Ariel.
Oh yeah, that's near. Yeah, that's out there.
Yeah, over there.
That's where you stayed.
Yeah. That's where
That was probably what, like
It was like
40,
a
30. Okay, I was gonna say 45 minutes from where you guys were playing.
wasn't bad. It was beautiful.
No, it wasn't a bad drive.
Yeah.
I mean,
I go camping out there every year with the guys, and by camping I mean like we pitch a tent and drink a lot of beer.
that's camping, right?
Cornhole.
No, horseshoes, camping. We drink a lot of beer, can jam.
Oh yeah, Can Jam's the
Can
shit.
Jam.
Most underappreciated backyard game of all time.
But we got there and it was like pitch black, and like the deer are not afraid of people at all.
No.
I was like surprised. It was
It's because
crazy.
people that go there like, oh, let's feed the deer.
Oh yeah, that's probably that's what it is. But
Okay, well, thank you very much for having us, though, man.
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys at the conference next year.
yeah, we're
And obviously, keep me posted with what you guys have going on, new music, all that kind of fun stuff.
yeah.
Yes, of course, brother. Thank you very much.
Awesome, guys. Be sure to check out Barry Giant's EP on all the streaming services called Exhumed, and we'll look forward to seeing new stuff from you guys very soon.
Thank you very much, man.
All right.
Bro.
All right, we'll see you. Thanks.
Take it easy.
Later.
Show what your small business sells in 7 seconds.
So what sort of skills do you have?